Oh, it's wonderful to be back with you. This is our 12th year with this show and our 409th show. There are a few changes, like we've got a new set, and I guess the biggest change is that we have gone onto the internet. And you can check us out at Deaker onsport.co.nz. And the reason we've done that is that I want you to contribute to this show. Tell us who you want on it and tell us the issues that you want discussed. And now you've got the chance. And tonight we are looking at the issues. And the first issue we'll be looking at the Halbergs Awards. These are the blokes that won it. Did they deserve to win it? And then Sonny Bill Williams. What do you make of this guy? Is he another Jonah? Just how good is he and where will he go? And then finally, sports personalities. Oh, OK, Warnie might have finished, but he's certainly a personality, and we discuss their role in our society. But first up tonight, we're talking the Halbergs.
Get in there first row and just smash the crap out of it.
In every interview I've seen of you, it is family first and golf second. Always be like that?
Always. Always.
What did David Tour have to say when he looked in the mirror?
Start being a bullshit artist.
Gee, there's been some people getting emotional over this one. I was minding my own business totally and doing what I have done for, the last 2.5 decades, just broadcasting quietly from News Talk ZB. And a bloke came charging in on Sunday and said, "Mate, I'm going to have you. I'm having you on Wednesday night. I've had an absolute guts full of you. I'm having you on Wednesday night." All right, go on then.
Murray, it's lovely to be here again. And actually, you did disturb me as I was driving along the motorway, and it's great to come here now and get a bit of therapy so I can sleep nights. I just cannot believe the reaction to the Halberg words, and there's 3 things that disturb me. One, where were these people in June in 2010 who were absolutely enraptured with everything that happened? No one moaned about it. Where were these people who were complaining leading up to the Halbergs, where you and I did radio shows every time, and everyone, bar a couple, said, "I think the All Whites should win it, I think they're going to win it." But the biggest thing that's disappointed me is we can all pick different people. We can all say, I think they should have won. But the disrespect, or the lack of respect given to a New Zealand team that represented this country on the world stage with absolute honour, and I was there and I saw the reaction from the foreign media, where is the respect given to them by other athletes, like the Dick Taylors, like the Mahi Drysdales, like the Murray Deakers? All right, now let's get down to it. Kath, do you think the criteria is flawed?
It's always going to be flawed. When you are selecting a team of the year, regardless of where you are, it is very subjective and you are going to get reaction. I am very surprised at the vast and broad reaction and the negative reaction that's occurred. And I was in June watching and thinking, wow, the All Whites have achieved something spectacular here. Everyone should enjoy it. But I wouldn't have voted for them because for me, sport is about competition. Competition is about winning, and they didn't win. Simple as that. But, you know, you can revel in the glory and enjoy the moment, but to me, they weren't the team that should have won the Halberg Award. But they did, and therefore, you know, I'm respectful of the fact that... Yes, correct. OK, well, let's talk to a judge, because you were on that panel, and did you know the criteria before you made your judgment?
Yeah, and what I was able to do is consider where I thought the World Cup sat and the importance to New Zealand as a football World Cup, the importance of the World Cup, and I looked at that stage and I thought, there's the setting. We've got a New Zealand team that I thought outperformed any other football team. Even the one that I think went to the World Cup in '82, you know, what they did. And I thought what they achieved was more remarkable than what the All Blacks achieved. It was close for me, and I'm owning up and saying I voted for the All Whites. It was very close for me, but look, the All Whites are probably a victim the All Blacks are probably a victim of the excellence that they set for themselves year after year. I thought that they had a great year. I thought they played beautifully. But for me, what the All Whites achieved was more remarkable, to me, a judge, being subjective, than what the All Blacks did.
Well, you see, the interesting thing about the whole deal is this, that you would say, are the All Blacks a victim of their own success? This has been running 62 years in this country, Kath. The All Blacks, or an All Black, has only won it 4 times out of the 62. He's ringing me up and saying, oh, I'm crying about that. But when you stop and think about it, hey, they're not popular with those judges, mate.
They would have been worthy winners. It was a magnificent to win 13 out of 14 tests.
Where is the criteria? What is the criteria?
Yeah, bung the criteria up there. It doesn't say winning anywhere in it.
No, it doesn't. And it's
there it
what
is,
you
then.
perceive it to be.
Kath, it says that the Halbergs Award will be awarded to the individual athlete in a team or team whose achievement in 2010 represented excellence in sport at the highest level.
And that's all well and good, but I, as a member of the public, see Halbergs Awards, Sporting Award, Supreme Award, you know, the Team of the Year or the Individual of the Year, and to me, the All Whites didn't win, so therefore I would
this is where we have another major issue. I thought that my time as a missionary in New Zealand after 26 years was over. The country's moved on exponentially. It's a magnificent place until Dick Taylor opened his mouth and suddenly opened up this can of worms. People do not understand the game of association football in New Zealand and the achievement that the All Whites did. If you go and ask anyone else that was over, or the crusty media and the fans and the ex-players and managers, as I did, they were all blown away.
Hang on. Let's have a look what Dick Taylor had to say, OK? There it is. They didn't get my vote and they were well away from it. I'm absolutely irate, almost speechless, unlike Miles, because I just don't want to be associated with the way the whole thing was handled. Unfortunately, for football people who care about the All Whites, they performed reasonably well in the World Cup, but they didn't win anything, so for me, it's a complete no-no.
One man's opinion. That's what that is. That's one man's opinion. Now, look, it's a subjective process, isn't it? They come to you. You go, I think they did X, Y, and Z. You rank your performers in the order you think that they did, that you think they should come out of the voting. And then they put that into a large pool of people who have been subjective, and if you have a large enough pool, you start getting something slightly more objective out of the process. I don't think there's a problem with it at all.
Did you have a discussion or you just vote?
No, it's my vote. I vote. If enough people vote my way, then these people
But you don't talk to the other people on the
panel.
I don't talk.
At all. There's no discussion with them.
I need to put my hand up just quickly and say that in 1998 and 97 I was on the panel, and in 98...
Did you quit?
Yes, I did. I quit in 98. And I'll tell you why I quit, Kath, because I sat there and the panel didn't have all these great ex-sports people on it. Two of us quit. One quit publicly and the other one did it the coward's way and I just put in a resignation and said, look, I don't want to come back next year. Because I sat around, I looked at the faces on the panel and there was a guy being discussed called Blythe Tate. And that year he would have won everything. If he'd been riding a bloody rocking horse, he'd have won on a rocking horse. He won Burley, he won badminton, he won the works. But he was never going to be appointed because he was gay. And I could tell by looking at the people's faces, I thought, I don't want a bar of this, I'm out of this. Now, Peter Williams, to his credit,
understanding what it's like to be gay, you resigned to make a protest for the pink
Peter Williams came out publicly and said that, and everybody denied it, but I think Pete got it right.
I got to say, Murray, I wanted to get on that panel because I wanted to sit in that room and argue. I thought it would be great fun. But the way they do it, I think, is great. They get a large enough sample for the initial voting. You vote, they all come into a pool, and if there's enough people see it one way, that's what happens.
If you want to simplify, it's like selecting a best player in a game. Sometimes you think you had a blinder, and you're not selected as the best person.
That happened to you, Kath.
Many a time, and I almost quit.
I want to chuck this in. Some of them don't understand other sports. Some top sports people. Now, your new talkback caller, Mahi Drysdale's been ringing you.
Yes, Mahi rang up, and I commend him on that.
Well, what did he have to say? He
basically said that he felt that maybe he'd been taken out of context, but basically then went on and reinforced exactly what he said. The thing that concerned me about Mahi was where he says they didn't deserve to be in the same company, and that to me is disrespectful. You can say, I wanted them to win. Dick Taylor had a vote. He voted. He didn't like that other people didn't vote the same way, so like a petulant child, he throws toys out of the car. For me, if he's my kid, mate, straight to bed, no supper, and you're grounded for a month.
I heard Mahi on Miles's show, and he said in hindsight he wishes he didn't say anything. And sometimes as an athlete you do have thoughts and you have opinions, but you don't express them because sometimes you don't get it right.
But isn't it great?
Later in this program we're going to discuss our expectations of what athletes should do and what sports people could do.
Isn't it great though when people? This is a fine advert for the Halbergs because there is this much feeling that surrounds it. Look, all these people have done their achieving to get into the list of finalists. They've had their time. They're all loving what they did. Then they get there, we have a great celebration and someone gets the gong at the end of the night. What does it really matter? Well, it does matter, and that's what I love about the
So Murray
Halbergs.
Halberg rang up his mate Dick Taylor and said, "Look, Dick, we need someone to throw this."
I just think it's wonderful that people feel so strongly about it, you know. I think it's great.
Look, I think we've got to acknowledge one thing. You can't compare apples with oranges, with kiwi fruit, with prunes. And as I said, if you eat too many kiwi fruit and prunes, you end up with a dose of the you-know-what. And the Halbergs have given me a dose of the you-know-what
You can, Murray, if you get a large enough pool of judges from a big enough cross-section
you're going to get more of a mess, Mark. You are going to get more of a mess. Just a quick thing. They don't have a category for disabled athletes, and I would have thought since the proceeds go to disabled people that would be something they should look at, something they should do.
I'm actually very surprised. They seem to cover off on all areas.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a big part of sport here in New Zealand. A lot of people achieving, putting in the time and effort. So I think it's a category that's certainly well worth considering.
Can we ask you, Judge, did you vote on the emerging talent?
Actually, I can't remember doing that one.
Jack O'Gill is the name I want to ask you.
I mean,
how did that bloke miss out? He's the best in the world. Like, do you find that one staggering?
I was absolutely flummoxed by that, and all I could imagine at the time was perhaps they felt that he didn't need the funding, that he's being looked after because he's so high profile.
You get Bio
under 20 champion and he's only 15.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. You get bio sent to you though, so you can understand the achievements of all those that you might not be aware of. So if you're doing your homework properly, there's a lot of reading to do. You read about all these people, and then you've got to make up your mind and rank them 1 to 14 as the
all right, but the one thing we are all in agreement on is it is highly subjective, very difficult to compare one category to the other. And the key thing that I think needs to be said is if we didn't have them, we wouldn't be recognising excellence. There is a place for the Halbergs, but I think we take it too damn seriously, don't we?
Some people do.
Hey,
I'd like to think we don't.
Like blokes coming in and attacking me in my own studio.
Take it seriously, I don't have to.
I'm going to have you, mate. I'm going to have you, mate. Right, let's move on because I want to look at this whole business about Sonny Bill Williams.